Some people walk into a room and instantly notice things everyone else overlooks. They're not just smart, they're dangerously sharp. They see intentions hiding behind smiles. They catch patterns buried inside excuses. They stay steady while the rest of the world reacts. Most people move through life half asleep, believing words, ignoring warnings, and letting emotions steer the wheel. But the Stoics understood something deeper and darker. The world favors those who think with clarity, who see reality without filters, and who refuse to let impulses or illusions hijack their mind. And here's the uncomfortable truth. When you sharpen yourself like this, you stop being easy to influence. And that alone makes you dangerous. Dangerous to lies, to chaos, and to anyone who benefits from your confusion. Today, you're going to learn 8 ruthless Stoic lessons that turn you into someone who cannot be fooled, controlled, or underestimated again. If you're ready to see the world differently and see yourself differently, let's begin. Lesson 1. People reveal themselves through repetition. Trust what you observe. People don't hide who they are, they repeat it. That's the first rule of becoming dangerously intelligent. Observing what someone consistently does is far more accurate than trusting what they say. Most people cling to words because words feel warm, hopeful, or flattering. But patterns, they're cold, they're honest, they never lie. The Stoics knew this clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote that human behavior follows predictable lines, and once you understand those lines, very little in life will shock you. This is why dangerously smart people rarely feel blindsided. Not because the world is pure, but because they were paying attention long before the betrayal arrived. Think about it. Someone disrespects you once. That's an event. They do it again. That's a sign. A third time, that's their character. The truth is, people are remarkably consistent. The friend who always cancels last minute, the partner who apologizes but never improves, the co-worker who forgets your contributions but highlights their own, the person who makes you the punchline to feel powerful. These are not random accidents. They are patterns exposing the design of their character. Dangerously smart people don't get angry at patterns, they learn from them. Instead of hoping someone becomes more mature, kinder, or more reliable, they watch what continues and adjust. They create distance, they build boundaries, they change expectations, they guard their energy instead of waiting for others to evolve. And here's the subtle Stoic shift. A person's pattern is not about you. It's about their internal world. It's not your job to fix it. It's your job to recognize it. When you stop arguing with someone's repeated behavior, your entire life becomes calmer and clearer. You stop taking things personally. You stop falling for potential. You stop ignoring red flags. You stop handing out endless chances. Instead of thinking, why would they do this? You start asking, why did I allow this cycle to continue? That shift alone elevates your intelligence. It makes you harder to deceive, harder to push, harder to emotionally control. People will sense it. They'll realize you're not someone blinded by charm, promises, or temporary kindness. You're watching actions. You're observing consistency. Because once you master the ability to read patterns, you unlock a level of clarity most people never approach. You stop seeing people as who they claim to be and start seeing who they really are. And that makes you dangerously smart. Lesson 2. Comfort weakens the mind. Discomfort sharpens it. Comfort feels good but slowly makes you dull, slow, and predictable. If the first lesson teaches you how to see others clearly, this one teaches you how to see yourself clearly. And the truth is simple. Nothing powerful or sharp grows from comfort. Comfort saves you from pain, but it also shields you from growth, from depth, from the kind of mental strength that makes you untouchable. The Stoics understood this with absolute precision. Seneca warned that an easy life creates a weak mind. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to expect difficulty every morning, not because he sought suffering, but because he knew a hardened mind sees reality far more accurately than a comfortable one. Comfort dulls your instincts, softens your judgment, and makes you overreact to small problems while ignoring big ones. A comfortable person becomes predictable, easily steered by fear, routine, or emotional swings. Meanwhile, the one who chooses discomfort becomes sharper, steadier, and far more prepared. Think of the people you admire most. They didn't rise by choosing comfort. They grew by stepping into the cold, the difficult, the uncertain. Dangerously smart people understand this deeply. If you always run from discomfort, you also run from truth. Truth about your limits, your weaknesses, and your potential. And the only way to uncover these truths is through friction. Discomfort isn't only physical, cold showers, fasting, early mornings. It's emotional and psychological too. Asking the hard question no one wants to ask. Saying no even when your voice shakes. Having the conversation you fear. Choosing long-term growth over instant pleasure. Holding yourself accountable when no one is looking. Every time you choose discomfort, you sharpen your awareness. You build discipline. You become resistant to chaos. You stop fleeing pressure and start using it to your advantage. And here's the twist. Discomfort is not punishment. It's preparation. Preparation for strength, for clarity, for responsibility, for the kind of intelligence that survives any environment, even difficult ones. People who cling to comfort collapse when reality hits. Dangerously smart people don't. They train their mind to stay steady in storms, not only on sunny days. Because once you stop worshipping comfort, you access resilience and intelligence levels most people never touch. That is how discomfort makes you dangerously smart. Lesson 3. Emotions pull the strings. Logic chooses the action. Emotions are powerful, but the moment they dictate your decisions, you stop being wise and start being controlled. Most people assume intelligence comes from what they know. Dangerously smart people know intelligence comes from what they can resist. The Stoics understood this long before modern psychology. You cannot be wise if your emotions are in command. Emotion is the spark. Logic is the steering wheel. You need both, but in the right order. When anger leads, you misjudge people. When fear dominates, you shrink your potential. When insecurity rises, you hand others more authority than they deserve. When envy hits, you compare your worth to someone else's path. In those moments, you're not thinking, you're reacting, you're not choosing, you're being tugged. And nothing destroys clarity faster than a mind taken over by impulse. The Stoics were not emotionless, they were emotionally trained. Marcus Aurelius felt frustration, betrayal, and exhaustion, but he paused before responding. He understood that the space between stimulus and response is where real wisdom grows. Dangerously smart people cultivate that space. They practice a sacred pause, a brief moment where emotion burns hot, but action stays still. In that pause, logic steps forward. Clarity replaces impulse. You see what's truly happening, not just the story your emotions are shouting. Try this. When someone disrespects you, don't fire back. When jealousy rises, don't spiral. When fear enters, don't shrink. Pause, breathe, observe. Ask yourself, what is this emotion trying to make me do? And does that action help me? This one question separates sharp thinkers from self-destructive ones. Dangerously smart people understand emotions give information, not commands. Anger signals something is wrong, but you choose the response. Fear alerts you to danger, but you decide if it's real. Sadness shows something matters, but you choose how to move forward. They don't suppress emotions, they supervise them. Because the moment you can feel deeply without reacting recklessly, you become unpredictable to manipulators, steady in chaos, clear in conflict, and powerful under pressure. That level of emotional self-control unsettles toxic people and earns respect without effort. When emotion pulls the strings, but logic guides the movement, you stop being a puppet and become dangerously smart. Lesson 4. Everyone protects their own advantage. Always study incentives. People rarely act out of morality first. They act from incentives. And the moment you forget that, you become easy to influence. One of the biggest mistakes intelligent people make is assuming others think like them, fair, honest, reasonable. But dangerously smart people know this is rarely true. They understand a truth the Stoics recognized thousands of years ago. Human behavior is repeatedly driven by self-interest, not always malicious, not always selfish in a negative way, but simply human. Everyone is protecting something: their image, comfort, status, income, pride, advantage, or emotional wounds. Once you start seeing people through the lens of what are they trying to preserve, their actions instantly make sense. The co-worker who downplays your wins, they fear losing relevance. The friend who only appears when they need something. Their incentive is convenience, not connection. The person who flatters you excessively may want access, approval, or opportunity. Even kindness has incentives, sometimes pure, sometimes strategic. Dangerously smart people don't judge this. They analyze it. Because understanding incentives isn't pessimism, it's clarity. Look at how leaders move. Look at how companies advertise. Look at how relationships shift. Behind every action is a motive, and behind every motive is an incentive. If you ignore this, you'll keep taking things personally. But once you see it clearly, you stop getting blindsided. Stoic wisdom teaches that real understanding comes from knowing why people behave the way they do, not just noticing what they do. Marcus Aurelius constantly reminded himself that people act based on their fears, beliefs, desires, and insecurities, not based on what you expect from them. Ask yourself, what's the incentive behind this behavior? You'll be surprised how quickly confusing situations start making sense. Because here's the reality: people rarely go against their incentives. They break promises, they break their word, they break the image they present to the world, but their incentives, those they stay loyal to. This is why people who think sharply don't fall for charm, pressure, guilt, or emotional manipulation. They're not distracted by the performance, they're watching the motive behind it. Once you learn to read incentives instead of just surface behavior, conversations become clearer, relationships get simpler, and your decisions become far more precise. You'll know who to trust, who to avoid, who deserves your investment, and who should be kept at a distance. It's not about becoming suspicious, it's about becoming perceptive. Because when you grasp self-interest, you understand human nature. And when you understand human nature, you become dangerously smart. Lesson 5. Most people can't handle seeing their own reflection. Truth feels like an attack. Nothing exposes someone faster than the truth about themselves, and nothing triggers them more. Many people spend their lives avoiding the real mirror, not the one in their bathroom, but the psychological mirror that forces them to face their flaws, behaviors, ego, and contradictions. For them, truth isn't clarity, it's confrontation. People who are dangerously aware understand this early. Most of the anger people express isn't directed at you. They're reacting to the part of themselves they see through you. You've experienced this. You point out a contradiction, and they say you're being harsh. You express a boundary, and they call you selfish. You mention a pattern they keep repeating, and suddenly you become the problem. Not because you're wrong, but because the truth shatters the story they tell themselves. Humans cling to narratives that protect their ego. I'm a good partner. I'm hardworking. I'm self-aware. I'm the reasonable one. And anything that threatens those identities feels like an attack, even when it's accurate. Stoicism teaches that wisdom begins with seeing yourself clearly. Marcus Aurelius wrote every night, not to comfort himself, but to confront the parts that needed discipline, restraint, or humility. He welcomed the truth. Most people run from it. Here's the paradox. When you tell someone a truth they haven't accepted internally, they won't feel gratitude. They'll feel exposed. This is why sharp minds read reactions, not just words. Watch how someone responds to honest feedback. Observe their body language when they're confronted with their own behavior. Notice whether they deflect, blame, minimize, get defensive, or suddenly turn emotional. These reactions reveal emotional maturity, self-awareness, and character far more accurately than anything they claim. And here's the subtle Stoic insight. Your job isn't to wake people up. Your job is to stay awake. You're not required to fix someone's denial, argue with their narrative, or drag them toward growth. Growth is a choice, and most people aren't ready. Smart people don't waste energy convincing the unwilling. They observe, adjust, and step back. They share truth only with those who are capable of handling it, because truth is powerful, but in the wrong hands, it becomes a weapon used against you. Once you accept that most people can't face the truth about themselves, you stop taking their reactions personally. You stop chasing explanations. You stop offering clarity to those who aren't ready for it. And in that moment, you gain freedom, emotional clarity, and a deeper understanding of human behavior. That's what makes you dangerously smart. Lesson 6. Every victory creates resentment. Success always comes with a price. The moment you rise, someone will resent it, not because you harmed them, but because your growth reminds them of the growth they avoided. Many want success, but they don't want the consequences that come with it. They want applause, recognition, admiration, but they don't want the jealousy, distance, whispers, or insecurity your progress triggers in others. Smart people see this early. Success isn't only about what you gain, it's also about what you lose and what you expose. When you level up, you disrupt the balance. Your consistency exposes someone else's laziness. Your discipline highlights their excuses. Your courage reveals their fear. Your peace reminds them of the chaos they've been ignoring. Most people don't resent your success. They resent what it reflects back at them. Stoics understood this dynamic deeply. Marcus Aurelius noted that when you choose a path of virtue, you disturb those who choose comfort, dishonesty, or mediocrity. Not because you're wrong, but because you represent a standard they don't want to reach. This is where smart people separate themselves. They don't shrink to make others comfortable. They don't dim their light to avoid jealousy. They don't apologize for evolving. They simply observe the shift with calm understanding. Watch how people act when you win. Some truly celebrate you. Some quietly distance themselves. Some question how you achieved it. Some search for flaws to comfort themselves. Some pretend not to notice at all, as if your rise threatens their identity. None of these reactions define you. They reveal them. As you grow, protect your goals from those who belittle them. Protect your energy from those who drain it. Protect your mind from those who project onto your progress. And protect your peace from those who expect you to stay small. Not everyone who started with you can continue with you. Some people fit the old version of you, not the new one you're becoming. That's not betrayal, that's evolution. So don't fear the resentment your success attracts. Recognize it, expect it, accept it, and continue anyway. Because when you rise, you will lose people, but you will find yourself. And that trade is a price every dangerously smart person is willing to pay. Lesson 7. The world runs on transactions. Someone is always selling you something. Every interaction is an exchange. Every message is a pitch. Every person, consciously or not, is offering something. Attention, validation, influence, comfort, loyalty, status, opportunities, or even a version of themselves they want you to see. And sharp people know this. Once you recognize the transaction beneath the surface, you stop being fooled by appearances. Most people believe relationships are pure, motives are obvious, and people always say what they mean. But the Stoics understood human nature more accurately. Seneca explained that people often act from advantage, not virtue. Meaning, they offer what benefits them, not necessarily what benefits you. That doesn't make them bad. It simply makes them human. Look around. The coworker who showers you with compliments might just be building credit for later. The friend who endlessly vents is selling you emotional labor. The person who flirts without committing is selling the illusion of closeness without carrying the weight of responsibility. The mentor who opens doors for you may want loyalty, appreciation, or access. Even family can sell guilt, duty, or roles they expect you to fulfill. The question isn't whether it's good or bad. The real question is, what's the cost, and are you willing to pay it? Dangerously smart people don't condemn this reality. They move through it with their eyes open. They ask, what is this person gaining from me? What am I getting from them? Is this exchange balanced, draining, or manipulative? What silent agreement am I part of without realizing it? The moment you understand the hidden economy operating beneath relationships, you stop overgiving. You stop letting others manipulate you with guilt. You stop mistaking flattery for genuine respect. You stop agreeing to situations where you lose peace but gain nothing meaningful in return. And here's the twist. You're selling something too. Your time, your attention, your skill, your presence, your boundaries, your self-respect. So you need to decide what those things are worth, because people will take all of it for free if you don't define the price. This doesn't make you cold, it makes you aware. It helps you build relationships based on clarity instead of confusion, fairness instead of exploitation. Once you view every interaction as an exchange, you start choosing your price, your limits, your access levels. You stop saying yes automatically. You stop pouring into people who only take. You stop letting others dictate the terms of your life. You become intentional, steady, selective, and that is what makes you dangerously smart. Lesson 8. Life ends faster than you imagine. Mortality sharpens your mind. Nothing brings more clarity than remembering your time isn't endless. Nothing pushes you to live fully more than the realization that tomorrow isn't promised. Most people live like life is on layaway, as if there will always be a later, as if goals can wait, as if relationships will magically repair themselves, as if they can postpone becoming who they're meant to be. Stoics saw this as the greatest lie of all. Seneca wrote that we are dying a little every day, not to scare you, but to awaken you, to remind you that delaying your life is the quickest way to waste it. Time isn't something you own, it's something you spend, and you don't know how much remains in your account. Dangerously smart people don't fear death. They use its awareness to cut through the distractions of life. Mortality reveals what really matters. When you truly remember you won't live forever, petty fights lose their meaning. Toxic relationships lose their hold. Fear of judgment becomes irrelevant. Procrastination looks absurd. Pretending becomes exhausting. Suddenly, honesty matters more than being liked. Growth matters more than comfort. Peace matters more than appearances. And the people who genuinely care rise to the top, while those who drain you naturally fall away. Memento mori. Remember you will die isn't a dark philosophy, it's freedom. Because once you let death sit beside you, you stop living half asleep. You reach out to the person you've been avoiding. You leave the job that's strangling your spirit. You take the risk you've been postponing forever. You forgive where it's needed, or walk away where forgiveness can't fix anything. You stop waiting for permission to be the real you. Awareness of death doesn't make you reckless, it makes you deliberate. And here's the deeper Stoic insight. You can't control when death arrives, but you can control what version of yourself it meets. Will it find you unfinished, unexpressed, and full of regret? Or will it find you awake, disciplined, honest, and aligned with your principles? Dangerously smart people choose the second path. They live with urgency, not panic, with purpose, not fear, with clarity, not chaos. Because remembering you will die teaches the ultimate truth. Life is shorter than you think, but when lived with intention, it's more than enough. You've now walked through 8 ruthless Stoic lessons, 8 ways to see the world as it truly is, not as you want it to be. You learned that people reveal themselves through their habits, that comfort weakens the mind, that emotions control you until you take back the reins, that self-interest drives behavior, that many people can't handle the truth about themselves, that success quietly provokes resentment, that every connection contains an unspoken transaction, and that life is far more limited and far more urgent than most realize. This isn't just information, it's transformation waiting to happen, but it only becomes real when you put it into practice. So here's your challenge. Pick one of these 8 lessons and apply it today. Not tomorrow, not when things settle down. Today, notice someone's pattern without going back to old fantasies. Choose one small moment of discomfort and walk directly into it. Pause before reacting to a trigger. Look at someone's behavior through the lens of incentives instead of illusions. Guard your energy when your success unsettles someone. Say no where you once said yes, or simply remind yourself right now that your time is not unlimited. Because the person who applies Stoicism becomes dangerously smart, not by force, but through clarity, not through ego, but through mastery, not by controlling others, but by mastering themselves so deeply that nothing external can shake them. Thank you for watching, for thinking deeply, for choosing growth in a world that constantly rewards the opposite. Your presence here means more than you know. If this message sparked something in you, hit like, subscribe, and comment. I choose clarity over illusion. Take what you learned today and live it, and I'll see you in the next video.